What is up, everybody? This is the WMMA Today podcast with Drake Riggs and I, Steve King. It's like kind of a small lineup. We have a bunch of Twitter questions, though. And we'll, as always, we'll take all of your questions, comments, concerns. Just drop them in the comment section, and we'll put them up on the screen, and we'll talk about what you want to talk about. This is your show. So the lineup is, we got some news. We got a wonderful return to a much anticipated return from a show favorite, a fan favorite, just an overall favorite of a fighter. We got a release of a fighter, came out of fucking nowhere. Was pretty shocked by that. Drake and I will talk about that a little bit. And then, of course, there's a couple fights. And then UFC 264 going down this Saturday night. It's a big card.
We in Vegas, baby. And a couple of if you couldn't tell, I'm not in the normal studio on the scene here. But yeah. Let's get cracking and welcome everybody. See Ruth coming on in. Oh, welcome, yes, we are back. We are back as always. Missed the day. It's been a little bit crazy with the holidays and everything, so that's why we missed yesterday. Had to push back. Made it happen today, thankfully. Jimmy, welcome. Makoto, welcome. Good to see you. Rain, the best WMMA podcast in the world. Preach it on.
In the fuck is. Jimmy says, hashtag WMMA Today. Love that hashtag. Keep using it.
There it is.
On all of your social medias. Get this shit going. Ghost Phantom, hello. Yusuf, hello. All right, let's go.
All right, let's crack her open. No recaps because we had the weekend off. So let's just open up the Twitter mailbag right away, Steve. Let's get hot and heavy as the boys do. And Ghost Phantom beat you all to the punch. Slid up into the DMs as he does, and he's got a doozy. For us.
Ghost Phantom can't wait.
No, he gets very excited, which appreciate it greatly, sir.
Ghost Phantom.
Yeah, I glanced over this one, and it's quite interesting. I didn't fully process it yet because I like to wait till we're on here. So let's get right into it. I'm probably gonna have to scroll for you, Steve, but just let me know.
Okay. All right. So this is from Ghost Phantom. A strawweight prospect comes in with a record of 16-0. Very good. 100% finish rate. She's amazing. No championship, but has finished wins over Rena, Ayaka, Rin, Hom, Ayaka, Tiffany, Emmy, Mangbo, and Denise. Wow, she's beaten literally everybody.
Right.
If Drake and Steve were the official UFC matchmakers for the women's division, what would you guys do for this prospect while also considering the current UFC strawweight rankings? And then he gives us option.
Yeah,
love that. Option A: have her compete in the Dana White Contender Series for a small contract. I don't think so. Not beating all of those people. No way.
He's got some goats on there.
That's got to be X'd out right off the bat. Option B:
agreed.
Give her a top 10 opponent like they did with Michael Chandler. If yes, then who? A top 10 is would be like bottom of what they can do for this woman. Option C is build her up slowly like what they are doing with Sean O'Malley and give her a non-ranked opponent. If yes, then who? There's no way they give her non-ranked. She already has beaten everybody. She's beaten everybody who's good. Like who else can she beat at this point?
And then some. 16-0, all finishes, and finishing those opponents. You give that woman a title shot right away.
Exactly. How about option D, Ghost?
Yeah.
How about option D and just put her in there against the current champion? Fuck it. dude, you go up, you go back up, scroll back up, go to that lineup. She's beaten. Come on, Rena, Ayaka, I mean,
Nakai, even with the size difference.
Dude, she's beaten everybody. This person has beaten everybody. Mengbo, like she's beaten everybody at different weight classes. Beaten at 125, beaten at 115, beaten at 135. So this woman has gone up from 115 to 135.
She's like, yeah, that's like she's already that. This hypothetical woman is a GOAT before they're even in the UFC. You know,
This person deserves everything. All the accolades. She deserves a championship fight from the jump.
Yeah. That's so just to play along with it. I agree with our D option there, but B still technically makes sense because the top 10 opponent is the champion, and if yes, then it would be the champion. So Rose versus this person, and then he asked for
now Rose.
Yes, for now Rose until they fight this woman.
Because if Rose is fighting this woman, then she's done.
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean,
so then he
walked through everybody.
Yeah, that's it's quite a lineup. So then he also asked for the pros and cons for each option and why you would choose the option that you chose. I mean, I feel like it's pretty plain and simple, you know, with this one. Like the first of all, that person should never even consider a Dana White Contender Series contract, and that's probably not even a realistic possibility in this situation, right? Like, because if you're comparing Chandler with option B, not a single chance. Chandler, that didn't even come into their minds, right? Wouldn't happen with this person. So that one, there's zero pros to that. There are no pros whatsoever to that. It's a complete waste of time, unless you want to hype up the Contender Series. That's all that's good for. Which fuck that.
But so, I mean, you know that if she goes into the Contender Series, she's gonna wreck whatever person she goes in.
Yeah, you know, but waste of time. Yeah. So option A, just get that one out of here.
Yeah.
We'll skip to C since we agree on B. Build her up slowly like what they are doing with O'Malley and give her a non-ranked opponent.
There is no building this person up slowly.
Yeah. The build has already been there, but
she's built herself up already.
Yeah. So the con of that is waste of time, right? When they deserve a title shot right out the gate. But the pros to that, I will say, are kind of, you know, making her even more frightening to maybe a new audience. Like you mentioned there, Ghost, in the comments, people that the Western audience might not know. I mean, that's an easy way to make her even more of a star than she already would be with that resume. So there is a pro to that. I mean, fans will kind
16-0, 16 finishes. Like, I mean, people would eat that up.
Yeah, the casuals would love that. The hardcores would hate that.
For sure. All you have to do is put a long ass clip of her finishes up on your social media and on, you know, any kind of like embedded or whatever else, and people will jump on that shit.
Yeah. So ultimately, option B is the way to go, though, and option D, which is just title shot, which is the correct answer.
So, I agree with you. So Ghost asked, how would you guys negotiate their contract? I guess the negotiation would be pretty difficult. I mean, just because she probably isn't really known.
You know what? I gonna counter that with.
But I mean, you go in there with like all of her belts, right? You're like, look, dude, she's a champion of champions.
Yeah.
This is your woman right here. This is your Ronda Rousey times 1 million. Your Conor McGregor times 1 million. This is your fighter right here.
Exactly, and you just took the words out of my mouth. I was going to bring up Ronda, and even Ronda didn't make bank in her first UFC fight. So if this person has double the resume that she had at that time, which is essentially what this is, right? Then you could kind of work a mix between Ronda negotiations coming into the UFC plus Chandler, who you know, both fantastic spots. So I think that's a great.
Or Eddie Alvarez,
Melendez, who got a title shot in his first fight. Something along those lines. I mean, you have a shitload of leverage. You pretty much have the maximum amount of leverage you could possibly have.
You have literally everything. I mean, those are all big ass names. Huh.
Yeah.
Rue saying, give her Cheyenne Bays as a tune-up.
Murder. Oh, man. So
wonderful question. I like that shit.
Very fun. Very fun.
Yeah, those are the type of questions that I really dig. That's thoughtful. That's incredibly thoughtful.
Yeah. Indeed. Good stuff, Ghost, as always. So now I'm just upset that person doesn't exist, even though I don't want them to have finishes over some of those fighters, because I like a lot of the people you listed there.
Yeah, but, I mean, they're all great, right?
Yes, very much so. But all right, moving along into the public part of the mailbag attached to Steve's tweet. We kick things off with Mr. Juicy
Welcome,
Boy.
Alexander.
There he is, the man himself. Good to see you, pal.
All right. Friendly Sparring Podcast. Juice, what does my girl Roxy have to do to get some respect?
Should we kind of save this, actually? We can get into this maybe later.
We can when we talk about...
here's the answer. The answer is win this next fight. Even then, probably won't. But yeah, I don't know. We'll get into it.
Yeah, I think we can move. I think we can move along from that one.
Yeah,
but
thanks as always. So, all right, and
they're talking about
shout out.
Angela Hill. She's doing a contest. Her T-shirt, wear it like somewhere crazy place. Juice wore it at, I think, a daycare.
Really?
A daycare. She's giving away tickets two tickets to an event. Juice wore it to a bunch of different places. His main one was at a daycare where Angela Hill responded to it. What is her thing? Bitch slapping season or some shit?
Bitch fucking season.
Bitch fucking season. I know Angela Hill's a fan of the show. I mean, y'all are a fan of the Angela Hill.
Yeah.
But yes, that is what they were talking about.
So there's a potential troll here. So we'll give you one chance, one warning potentially. If this is going to continue, but it could be, just having some fun, or they're serious. But you guys can see what I'm talking about. Yeah, good fun. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, well, this is gonna get not funny real fast, so we'll just take care of this now. Put you in a little timeout and a block. All right, that's fun. That's good fun. All right,
take care of it, guys.
Took care of it. Just nice and quick. Not gonna play around. Just so we know the audience, you guys. So no problem. All right, let's move on to
you motherfuckers should be thanking me. I'm the one who actually blocked. Drake put this motherfucker on a timeout. I was like, no. We don't play that shit.
Yeah.
All right,
anyway,
Houston's got the true or false questions. Rowe stuffs all Suarez takedowns. She stuffs all Suarez takedowns. Nah, there is no way that she stuffs one of those motherfuckers.
Yeah, I'm gonna say false on that.
Yeah, she ain't fucking
simply because after, it's very possible after the first one, that's all she needs. It might not, it might not last longer than that. So,
true.
Yeah.
All right. Rousey was the most hyped fighter ever. Rogan said she would beat Cain Velasquez, I remember
that. Most hype fighter ever. I mean, I guess it's her or Connor. Technically, right? Technically, it has to be one of them.
Yeah. I guess it's probably Connor, I think. But Rousey's definitely the most hyped female fighter.
Right.
Ever. I mean, Rogan's an idiot. So
I don't think he directly said that either.
I don't think
he direct quote said that.
I don't think that he said that either.
Okay, so we're getting the trolls today. This is fun. This is fun. Give me the block on this one.
Shevchenko would be on course to beating DJ's record of 11 title defenses if there was a flyweight division when she debuted. I mean, the way that she's fighting now.
I'm only thinking false because I think she would have stayed at bantamweight like she did anyway. I don't think she would have dropped down right away. Possible, but that's the only thing I think of. I still think she would have pursued bantamweight first, and then if she still, if she would have won, she would have dropped down maybe ever, like because she could still be champ right now.
I think I'm going true on this shit. Dude, she's amazing, right? Like, I mean,
but it just comes down to if she would go down at that time, right? Like with enough time to rack it up.
Yeah, yes. I mean,
that's the only thing about
that's the only thing. Yeah, that's the only thing.
So,
but I'm still going true. I'm still going true. So there. we go false, and then true, or you're going false too, huh? On the third one.
Yeah, false on the first and third. Second one, I think the second one's probably true because if you do think about it, there were some pretty silly claims out there. So I guess we'll just do that. But either way. All right, so one more from Yusuf, and he or maybe no, he's got two more, but looks like he listened. Appreciate you, Yusuf, for being less crazy than usual.
He's got a bunch of Suarez questions that we can talk about when we talk about Suarez, I guess, right?
Indeed. So, yeah. Okay, so Suarez.
Yusuf, the listener.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Stamina says Valentina Shevchenko fought at 125 almost her entire career outside the UFC, where the division from the beginning, she'd have had no reason to mess with 135.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Stamina.
Yeah, but yeah, I will save those Yusuf.
But then we would have never gotten the fabulous fights of Shevchenko versus Amanda Nunes, and now going on to a third fight, hopefully at some point, right? For Stamina.
Yeah.
Stamina's
all right.
Stamina's big on the Shevchenko Nunes third fight.
You know what? I think there's so many questions that Yusuf has presented us with about Tatiana that we might as well just talk about that right now. So I can put the ticker down actually at the same time. So it's perfect. So you guys,
I'm pretty sure everybody knows anyway, right?
Exactly. So,
all right, there's a return, baby. There's a return. The much anticipated return of Tatiana Suarez at UFC 266, September 25th, against Roxanne Modafferi. Like, wow. Unbelievable. We talked about it. We threw her name out there.
Yeah.
Because we knew that she was going up to 125, and we said, what if it's Roxy? That's going to be tough. It's going to be fucking tough.
Yeah, it's about as perfect as a return fight as you could get, though. Really, I mean, if Roxy, in theory, could win, right? Of course she could win, depending on how Tatiana looks coming back, which, depending on how healthy she is, I mean, she's really taking her time. So no reason not to believe she won't come back the same, and if not, maybe a little bit scarier. At 125, more power, less weight cut, all that kind of thing. So it's most likely going to be quite a rough night for Roxy. But hey, fun fact, everybody, if you didn't see that, I pointed out that Roxy will tie the record for most fights for a female fighter in MMA history with this fight. Wow. So a little bit of a bummer, that it's got to come in this likely fashion. But still very cool to join the likes of Satoko Shinashi, excuse me. And I was mixing her up with Yodaka or whoever the other one is. I forget her name. I blank on her. But yeah. And then she pointed out as well, if you count up fights, she's already got that record, which you probably should because that was a title season. So, but anyway, as for Yusuf's questions, which go into every possibility, maybe for Tatiana. All right, start with the top.
Who do you think Suarez has 5-round cardio in her? Do you think Suarez has 5-round cardio in her at 115 and 125? She's a wrestler, bro. She can go for 10 fucking rounds.
I mean, she should. Yes, I agree with that. She absolutely should. And I mean, if we've just gone off of past fights and beatdowns, if you want to look at the Carla one specifically, Steve, she, she put out a lot of energy for 3. That was very close to the end of that fight when she finished it, right? There was like 30 seconds left. So yeah, she looked fine. Of course, majorly on the ground, but no, her cardio should be fine. So do we think that she has 5-round cardio in her at both weights?
She should.
Yeah, should. And then again, it's hard to say since we haven't seen that yet. And
yeah, I mean, we don't know. We don't know what she'll put out at 125. All we know is what we've seen at 115.
Yeah. So we will see about that. Oh no, poor Suki's leaving us because of the assholes. Well, don't let him get you down, Suki.
That's right. I'm blocking him. I'm blocking him as soon as I see. I'm keeping an eye on it.
Yeah, how it goes. It's
I get it though. I get it.
Yeah, this is literally the first time this has happened. So
yeah, it is. It really is the first time.
Definitely not normal. So apologies for that inconvenience. And Ghost, I do see you there with Emi Fujino's original nickname being Special Attack Angel. As she mentioned, yeah, I pointed that out when we spoke. Kamikaze Angel, Special Attack Angel, they're both fantastic. So, but as we continue, he asked, should Suarez beat Roxy? What it would be the best step up after that? Well,
title fight.
There is an immediate title shot after that, or Caitlin, and that's about it, right? This is
she can move right past Caitlin Chikagian.
Yeah, I mean, I think it will probably depend more on what she wants to do, on what Tatiana wants to do, because maybe she'll be like, I want to, just get more time under me before taking on somebody like Valentina. Feel like she's pretty aware, so we will see. But then he asks, should Suarez face Dern? Reckon she takes her down and smashes Dern's guard? Possible.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a risky business, though.
That is very risky, but I think that she has enough confidence in herself and in her game that if she takes it that if it goes there, then she's fine with it.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I mean, she's incredibly strong and top heavy. When she's on top of somebody, there ain't. I don't care who it is. I mean, of course, Mackenzie is elite.
Yeah,
on the ground and on her back and stuff, but so is Suarez.
Yeah, that's one of those matchups that I would love to see.
Fantastic fight. I don't know if we'll see it. I guess we'll see it if Suarez beats Valentina. Yeah. I would assume that the UFC would go the route of Mackenzie Dern at some point getting a title shot.
She keeps winning.
Yeah.
She keeps winning. So, all right. Finishing off with 3 more Yusuf Tatiana questions.
I love it. Yeah, he's hyped for Tatiana. I mean, he's been all about it since the beginning. And I mean, Sam, is there a chance we see the Tatiana Suarez that mauls people in her return? I would
absolutely.
I would fucking hope so.
Like that's I said,
that's what I'm like praying to the MMA gods for.
Right. If she returns as healthy as she has tried to get herself, fully before coming back, which is very smart of her to do, take the time, especially for a neck, issue, which everybody should take their time with that.
And then she's been having other problems as well.
Right.
I mean, it's been a long time for her. It's been a long rehab for her, man.
Yeah. So, and of course, there's a very good chance, Yusuf, but it'll be interesting to see. And even if she is healthy, there's that potential ring rust. But I don't know. She's been a competitor her whole life, so I think should be fine. Fingers crossed. I mean, not for Roxy's sake, but. All right. So then he goes on to say there are so many fun fights for Suarez at 115. You reckon she will go back to 115 permanently? We'll see how this fight plays out.
Yeah. Not if she does well at 125. I don't know. Maybe she's not into the cutting weight thing anymore. She's been doing it for a long time. She did it as a wrestler for years. So maybe she's done with that shit. Much weight, cutting as much weight. Because she was big at 115.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
like her and Carla look like different divisions.
Oh yeah, for sure. At 125, she'll just be strong, not bigger.
Yeah, but good to see you as well, Alvin.
And
yes, it's kind of surprising how much of a damper that those trolls put on the show there briefly. Yeah. Unfortunate, and I mean, I don't know if you guys saw, or Steve, if you saw, if everybody saw, though, there was somebody, I feel like I might have mentioned this on the show, but I had an impersonator a couple weeks ago. Did you see this? There was a fake me going around, which is kind of flattering, but I have a feeling
a long time ago on my other account, I got so fucking heated.
It was very interesting.
It's ridiculous.
They went into somebody else's live Q&A type thing, and they had my profile picture from Twitter. They had my name, and it was interesting though because they watched me enough to know that some answers to things I would probably say. Like somebody asked him, I don't know if it was one of our viewers, but they asked. Who's your favorite Japanese MMA fighter? And the person said Hamasaki, and this was right after that was an answer I had, I think on Braun Horizon episode 7 or something. I was like, it's just fucking weird, man.
Wait, so they impersonated you on YouTube?
Yeah.
It wasn't like a Twitter. It wasn't a Twitter thing.
It was on YouTube. Thing. Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking weirdos, dude.
Yeah. So Who knows? Maybe I got a weirdo now, weirdo stalker. So I apologize, guys.
Moni, welcome, Moni. Tatiana versus Bullet is very interesting, but I still think Bullet wins. How dare you? Give baby Moni a kiss for me.
Good to see you, Moni. And then last but not least, Yusuf says, what similarities do Suarez and Habib have, and why do people compare them? Because they smash.
Dude, they smash. Exactly. As you were reading it, and then I was like, smash.
It's pretty much the ground and pound, you know. I mean, as wrestlers, I think that they're actually pretty different. You know, I mean, of course, they're very smothering and top heavy. They have all those similar traits, but like,
yeah,
technique wise, Habib does a lot of unique shit.
For sure.
So.
And Suarez is an outright American wrestler. That's what she is. That's what she does. Whereas Habib is more obviously sambo. So there's a difference between the two.
Yeah. Definitely, but they deliver the same type of damage, so they get.
They do. They have the end effect is the same. They smash.
Yeah, the end result is typically the same. So that is why and where that comes from. But we'll close up the Twitter mailbag on that note. Appreciate it as always, you guys.
We didn't talk about Roxy, did we?
Oh right, yeah. There was we had the Roxy question and why she doesn't get any respect.
Jeez, why doesn't she get respect?
I think
it's because she's a nerd, dude.
It's all aesthetic. It is all aesthetics.
It's not about the way that she's fought, how she's handled herself in her career. It's nothing like that. She's a big nerd, and like MMA, I've said it many times. MMA fans are a bunch of knuckle dragging Neanderthals. They kind of bully, right? So what do you typically get? You get a Neanderthal bullying the nerd. I think that's what this is.
Just like high school.
I think that's what this is.
But and Ghost chiming into for that last part about Suarez and Habib. It's like the comparison with Zhang and Andraj. I've never heard too much of that, to be honest.
What was the comparison with Zhang and Andraj?
Maybe they were similar, I guess. Give us some more info. Yeah, some more info there, Ghost. I never saw too much of that at all. But yeah. It's
true. Chuck says, welcome, Chuck. Chuck says, not to mention the self-hating nerds out there. There are a bunch of geeky nerdy types who don't like other geeky nerdy types. They think that they're better than them. And I mean, it's either the knuckle draggers or the geeky nerdy types that are ganging up on Roxy. Like Drake and I have said, it has absolutely nothing to do with the way she fights, who she's fought in, how her MMA career has gone thus far.
Yeah, indeed. But Centro Wing, good to see you. I'll get to that. I want to say hi and welcome to the channel. Welcome to the podcast. Great to see you. Thanks for hopping on over from SCMP, which is, of course, the good friends and who I do work with as well. And we're here in Las Vegas, UFC 264 Fight Week, covering for SCMP right now. Well, not right this minute, but this week. So
starting Wednesday, Thursday, Wednesday,
starting tomorrow, media day tomorrow. So you can catch all the pre-fight stuff and post-fight stuff. All of it'll be on SCMP. But thank you for coming over and hanging out with us because weekly show here.
He said Okamoto said she's Andraj 2.0. Okamoto doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. So they're strong and they hit hard. That's about it.
Yeah,
that's about it.
Yeah. Oh God. ESPN MMA. Fuck me. They fucking blow my mind. So ESPN, did you see this? Did you see who ESPN is sending to UFC 264?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman. Unfucking believable. Unbelievable.
MMA junkies.
I cannot believe it. Dude, Stephen A. Smith, he doesn't know shit about MMA. He literally has said he doesn't know MMA. He's a mouthpiece. That's all he is. Oh, man. ESPN sucks, dude. Like, I cannot stand ESPN.
Yeah, it's going to be... It's like there's nothing he's got to offer. At least Kellerman knows boxing, right?
Exactly. Kellerman knows boxing actually very well. He's actually really smart when it comes to boxing. Stephen A. Smith is a basketball guy who knows a little bit, who knows the old boxing. He's in tune with the older boxing. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure he probably watches boxing now too, but he definitely covered boxing way back in the day in Philadelphia and New York and stuff. But yeah, MMA is totally different. Obviously, they're two different sports. And he's known to say stupid shit, especially about women, right?
As Rue points out right there.
Yeah. Stephen A. also hating on women's fighting. Yeah. Like it. Oh my God, dude. ESPN, man. ESPN. Tell you, if they didn't show fucking live sports, I wouldn't watch ever.
Yeah, no kidding. And Makoto says the only good thing about ESPN is that it's large distribution.
The live sports. Yeah. That's literally it. They're just a bunch of talking pieces at this point.
Yep, that is the truth. But, all right, you guys, let's continue forth with the show as we have some news, some very interesting bits of news as well. Whole lot of, I mean, this is almost entirely flyweight news now that I'm looking at it. Actually, everything except for one bit here is about the flyweights. So let's kick it off with, let me adjust the first one, Steve.
Yeah, Priscilla Cachoeira is out of her fight against Sijara Eubanks, and Elise Reed steps in on July 24th. Elise Reed is coming in to a pretty tough fight against Sijara Eubanks, who's ranked number 13 or something like that.
Yeah, she's around there. But the most fascinating thing about this to me is, and I don't think this was the case when Priscilla was originally in there, because you remember Sijara was supposed to fight, it was Carol, right? It was supposed to be Carol. Yep. Carol falls out. Yep. Priscilla comes in at bantamweight. Priscilla normally a flyweight, right? Now Sijara is going back down. Or maybe it was at 125 the whole time. No, because Carol was at 135. So yeah, I don't know how we ended up at 125 now, but Sijara is going back down. And if you remember, she had some very big struggles, and she missed the title fight. She could have been the first champion potentially. You know, Nico's still there, but she had the title fight, and
it's terrible. This is terrible. There's all kinds of fuckery in this fight. All kinds of fuckery that is just fucking ridiculous, man. I tell you, when I saw this, I was like, dude, this is stupid.
Stamina does not approve.
I mean, how can you approve? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Elise Reed can't beat Sijara, especially at 125. She has a decent chance with Sijara going down to a weight class where she's already had problems cutting weight too. But
if she doesn't have problems, though, Sijara is
at least Reed
at 125. Yeah,
in for a bad, tough night.
Yeah, and Elise Reed, you know, I think honestly is somebody who was probably going to get at the UFC at some point. She's still very early in her career, just 4-0. 28, just had a good win over Hillary Rose.
Yeah.
And, a pretty strong amateur career too, in terms of number of fights, just one loss in there, was 6-1, 7-1. But yeah. And
Chuck says, Elise Reed selling a loss in order to get the call up, straight career management.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. But
yeah, but it could be a bad beating too.
The funny thing is, though, with all the change-ups that have happened regarding this fight, still might not even happen. Still might not even be Sajara in there.
Yeah, I mean, that's how many weeks away? That's only 2 weeks away now.
Yeah, we will see about that. That was the biggest surprise to me. I was like, what? And then she replied to me, and I was like, okay, all right, you do you. I'm looking forward to it if you can make it. So, yeah, this fight is happening. But, if everything goes as it should in terms of getting to this fight, Sajara should definitely do.
You got to be careful now with that little check mark. They can see everything that you do.
I know, right? I'm very self-conscious about that. Whenever
don't fuck yourself over.
I know. It's funny. I already do this, but when I went out on Friday night with the boys, celebrating a birthday party, get a little tipsy. I'm always like, make sure that I don't go on Twitter just to be safe. Don't do any social media when you drink. It's always just, you never know.
You're gonna get fighters hating you. That's at one point.
Oh yeah. So
Stamina says, we put it up. Neither woman fighting in their preferred weight class. What the fuck is the point? Tanisha Tennant gets passed over again, as does Sarah Kaufman, just for a tiny use. I need to sign up for a mismatch. And then he goes, now that I'm not that I'm advocating for either of those women, but we know.
Should be advocating for Kaufman. I'm glad you mentioned that. Any chance we can throw her name out there, and the absolute travesty it is that she's not in the UFC right now. Should. So
yeah, I mean, you would think that by now, with all of these all this shit going on with missing fights and COVID and all that crap, Sarah Kaufman should have gotten called by now, right? There's got to be something going on between her and the UFC. There has to be.
Yeah.
She deserves to be in the UFC.
Yeah, she's one of the most underrated fighters ever.
She's better than a lot of the people in the top 15.
Oh yeah, she's top 10 if she comes right in. She'd beat people for sure.
Yeah.
So, good point from Chuck though, saying how not everyone wants to take a short notice fight.
Agree with that. I mean, agree, but you would, like I said, there's time in between. They could have reached out to Sarah Kaufman and been like, "Hey, you want to fight somebody in a month or so?" And I think Sarah Kaufman's game, man.
She's been very vocal,
especially for to get back into the UFC.
Yeah, definitely. So we will see how that plays out. Hopefully she gets back eventually. But anyways, as we move on from the UFC, we go to Bellator, where this fight is next week. So just a glimpse we're going to be getting, Steve. But she's back. Pantera is back already.
Yeah. Diana Avzaragova versus Gabriela Golfin for Bellator 262. That's just next week. I guess we probably see a knockout, right?
It's quite possible. I mean, she's literally won in all fashions you can now, right? Submission, decision, knockout. I think that was the exact order that Diana has wins. But I'm just really happy that she's pretty much getting her wish here of being active, because all three of her fights have had 2-year gaps between them so far.
Yeah.
And, you know, when I talked to her, which was a couple weeks ago, and I'm going to assume actually that this fight was made maybe right after I talked to her, because at the time she sounded like, oh, you know, I'm hoping for summer. And just how she said it, you know, you can kind of tell that they're not hiding things, especially when they are new to media. Because like, I'm pretty sure I'm one of the first people, especially, you know, American media, to have interviewed her. But yeah, she was hoping for a summertime. She's getting it. And then we have the Russia Bellator card coming up. What is that, October?
October.
You know for a fact, win or lose, she's going to be on that card. Win or lose, she will be on that one. So
for sure.
3 fights in a year for her. That's fantastic. So looking forward to that. And Golfin, if you will remember her, she has not fought in Bellator before. This will be her debut, but her last fight was against Jasmine Jasdavicius. First round loss, and then before that Blanchfield. So no shame in either of those, but you know, tough losses, of course.
Yeah.
So
this is another tough one in her Bellator debut.
Yeah, indeed. So, but hey, it's next week, so we don't have to wait very long. That's exciting. It's very exciting. So looking forward to that one, and there'll be more flyweight action coming up on that. So, I mean, the title's on the line. We got the title coming that night. Man, I can't wait for that.
Awesome.
I feel like it's not that close. I feel like Kiholtz and Velasquez is not next week, but I'll take it.
It's gonna be awesome.
All right.
I can't wait for that fight.
That is gonna be good. So,
is that a Saturday fight card, or is that Friday night?
Let's see. I got the calendar right here. That's a Friday. Yeah. All right, Steve. Let's get to the controversy of the week. Here we are.
Oh yeah, Lara Procopio was released from the UFC after her loss to Casey O'Neill.
I'll translate this. Hold on.
It's a bummer, man. Such a bummer. I don't get it, but
yeah, very interesting. So, on this post here from Lara, translated, she says, "I want to inform everyone who follows me and who likes my work that I am temporarily out of the UFC. That's just the end of a cycle." Yes, this is translated. So probably not exactly what she's meaning, but it's not goodbye. I'm just getting started. My journey is still big and I see a bright future, but sometimes we have to take a step back, stop, breathe, and come back with everything. Thank you to all who support me and who are by my side. Wait for new projects to come. So, yeah,
Bellator, man. She's got to go to Bellator.
Oh yeah. I strongly disagree with this, and I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
1-2 in the UFC, and her other loss, not to Casey O'Neill.
She went up in weight. Her in her debut, she went up in weight
against Carol, and was a split decision. She arguably won.
What? I don't understand. And
she didn't get dominated by Casey either. She had a great first round, you know, like.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't fucking understand it. I guess we'll probably know more details at some point. Somebody will get to the bottom of it.
Yeah. I hope maybe I guess we'll see, but yeah, this is silly. I especially at flyweight.
I mean, honestly, if I was at Media Week this week, I would ask questions about this, like why did that happen?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a head scratcher, definitely a head scratcher. But yeah, you know, you mentioned Bellator. That's probably, of course, the second best option, and they'd be smart to do that. Why not add her to that division? But see Rain throwing out, would she be good in Ryzen or maybe deep duels? I mean, so the thing about flyweight in Japan is that there's just not a lot of them. That's just how it is. Like, the only fight you can, I guess there's two fights you could make, which is they should probably fight each other now that Khan is out of the mix. But Sugiyama and Rin Nakai are the only, flyweights that we're talking about from Japan. And Procopio versus either of them would be totally fine. I'd be totally down for Shizuka versus Procopio. But again, it's a little difficult to get in Japan at the moment. And I don't know if it'll be harder or easier with the Olympics at this exact moment, but it wouldn't be a long-term thing for her. And hey, she could even go to Invicta now. That's an option. So you could have some fun fights there.
She could go to Invicta. I think they would probably be open to that.
Yeah.
Depending on what happened with her, like Stamina saying, we don't want to say no shit, USADA or whatever, but we don't know. We don't know what is going on.
Well, if that was the case, I guess they wouldn't have to say, right? Even if they're, I was going to say, because if it's a part of a release, I feel like that would be public, but I don't know.
I don't think that they have to say, but
I mean, people have done worse and not been cut.
Well, yeah, for sure. USADA typically says what happens too, though. They send out a release and they say what happens with the fighter.
Yeah. So
I don't know. And Jimmy makes a great point. The UFC does want to sign more of the Dana White Contender Series fighters. So, but I mean, there's other fighters to cut that are much worse than Procopio.
Oh yeah. And 3, 2. Let's do the countdown on when we get the comments for who will be mentioned. Just kidding, but yeah, definitely.
The issue with a lot of those other organizations is that, by and large, they're not as well set up to accommodate international fighters. They could sign her, and she just ends up not fighting much. It's true. She is from Brazil, and Brazil has problems getting into the United States.
Yeah, but we'll see.
Ghost asks, could she be competitive in Bellator? She can absolutely be competitive in Bellator. I mean, hell, Deanna Bennett, who we will be talking about, is in Bellator, and Procopio, you can say, is a better fighter than her.
Yeah, and Bennett, I mean, she didn't look too bad against Liz, I didn't think. No. Yes, she got submitted, but she looked pretty good, I thought.
Yeah, all the way up until.
Yes, but Procopio, I think definitely Invicta or Bellator.
I agree, Alexander. She should go to Invicta. I mean, I think that's probably the best landing spot for her career right now. Like, she can always go somewhere else to Bellator. Yeah, she's still, what, 25, 26?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, she's young. Like, I don't know. Something had to have happened.
Yeah, it's a weird one. It is a weird one. Maybe I'll try and find out while I'm down here. But
Chuck says, just go back to Brazil, get some wins, look impressive, be open for a short notice fight. Yeah, I mean.
Oh, I know what she should do. She should say that she's retiring.
You should definitely say that she's retiring, and then go dance, go dance, say she's retiring, and then she'll be given a crazy retirement fight.
Oh man.
Stamina says Bellator makes all the sense. Ideally speaking, Invicta fights are almost exclusively in Kansas, aren't they? For now they are, but they're gonna go out.
Yeah, planning to bounce around. That is what Shannon told me, that they will be going around more when they can. And so, yeah, that's exciting once Invicta gets as soon as they can get out of the Kansas area, the better.
Oh man,
my oh my!
just get out of there. Get out of Kansas and Missouri. My God, the judging.
Horrendous. Has always been very bad. But James is asking, is this similar to the Sohee Ham situation? Do you mean with Ryzen or the UFC? Because it's definitely not similar to Sohee in the UFC, I don't think. Because that was pretty much a lack of a division type thing for Ham, and Procopio has options in that regard. Ryzen wise, that was a little bit negotiation wise. Yeah, it doesn't make sense, James. I don't think that's a good comparison. I mean, we still don't really know. We don't have too much info on this. So
we don't know anything at all.
Yeah, exactly. So bummer. Wish her the best. I'm sure that she will land somewhere very soon because, like you said, Steve, still very young, still very talented. Should still be in the UFC. So that's that.
When there's other people like Hannah Cyphers still on the roster.
Very true. It's funny. Forget about that. Where's she been, huh?
Gina Mazzani. There's all. We don't have to name people. I just like to do a couple to prove a point.
Point proven, sir. All right. So moving on to the fight that should have been made already, but it's great that we're getting it next. The one that one of the fighters wanted. It's happening, Steve.
Yeah. Penny Kianzad versus Raquel Pennington, September 18th. That's quite a while away, but like you said, Penny was asking for it. We were asking for it. This is the fight, man. This is a good fight. I hope it stays true. I hope nothing happens in between. This is far away. September is a long way away.
Dude, this matchup I think will be super fun. I think this has all the makings to be great.
Yeah,
like just all
fight of the
fights
night
are very
fight
fun.
of the night type.
Yeah, all panty fights very fun.
Yeah, Raquel Pennington's a hard-hitting, fun fighter to watch as well.
Yeah, indeed. So, and there's a lot rankings-wise, all that kind of thing. This one makes sense. Panty deserves somebody in the top 5-7-ish range. And yes, I know that Pennington is not ranked anymore. Not ranked anymore because of the USADA stuff. But yeah, it's good to see. And then after this, if Panty pulls it off, she's got to be one away. Because that'd be, she at 4 now? She's at 4 right now. Yeah, there'd be 5 in a row, then potentially 6. She's getting up there. She's getting up there, and beating a former title challenger, that'd be big. So I love it. I am all for this one. As we've been calling for it before the Davis one. That was the one that was supposed to be there, and they apparently were making that, but Rocky couldn't make it. So here we are.
Yeah, Penny deserves this. Penny definitely deserves this fight.
Yeah, she does. So
I adore that woman.
She is fantastic.
I want her to win so bad. Like, not that I don't like Rocky, because I do, but I think I like Penny a hell of a lot more.
Well, it's just fresh. Rocky's been around the mid top 10 mix for a long time now.
That, but like her personality.
Well, yeah.
I fucking love her personality, man.
Yeah, she's funny. She's funny. My fellow bunhead, we have the bun power. Pull that picture up. But yes. Penny is doing her thing. And Rain says, speaking of ciphers, would the UFC do an a-hole thing like offer Joanna or Whaley ciphers just so they can offer them? Dude, I literally said this weeks ago. I literally said this like 2 weeks ago about when we were talking about Joanna and if she really wanted it anymore. Steve, how you remember this when I was like talk about the contracts, and they legally have to offer them 2 fights a year, or whatever.
Yeah.
And we were like, well, the UFC could, in theory, give them one that we know they'll say no to, just to say that they did it and not make them fight.
Yeah.
I literally said this, Rain. If you want to go back, man, and you missed that, I straight up talked about this already.
They're assholes. So the UFC wouldn't surprise me at all if they were to do something like that. But I mean, they can outright cut Hannah Cybers at this point, and it would be understandable.
Yeah. And don't feel bad, man. It's it's fair. I'm glad that you're thinking the same as we are. That's funny. But yeah, completely had the same thought a while back. So it's hilarious. And Jimmy, yeah, it would be. Jimmy asking, Ramona is at Syndicate. Would you be able to talk to her if she's ever in the PI? Of course. But I actually haven't ever been to this PI yet, and that'd be a fun thing to maybe I can try and do that on like Sunday or something, because I like to stay for the extra days now. But yeah, I don't know how much access they just give people. They don't give anybody, if you're just nobody. But if they let media in, maybe I could set something up, I'm sure. But yeah, no, I could definitely catch up with Ramona while I'm here. But I talked to her pretty recently, Jimmy. It's like, I don't know. What do you want me to ask her this time? I got to give her some breathing room, but it is possible.
Yeah, Ramona's going to be like, again?
Yeah, I know. It's like we talked like last month. But yeah, Ramona is great.
New to say, Drake.
I know, right? We could just shoot the shit and talk about, I don't know, anything else. Let's not do a fighting podcast. You got any tattoos, Ramona? No, that's Steve's show. All right. Moving on from the bantamweights. Back to the flyweights. We mentioned it already. Going back to Bellator. Here we are, Steve. End of this month.
Yeah. Alejandra Lara versus Deanna Bennett. July 31st. Bellator 263. Like this fight. It's a good fight. It's a bounce back fight for both of them. Crazy that both will be 0-2 in their last two if whoever loses.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, for Deanna, this is really actually like perfect for her, because you think she's not ranked. They don't have her ranked right now, which, if you think about it, she should definitely be ranked over Hannah Guy and Valerie Lareda. But do your thing, comment section. Do your thing, guys. But she's not. So if she wins here, beating Lara, does it say what she is right there? No, it doesn't. But she's like, what, 6'5"-ish? She's kind of still up there.
Yeah.
Huge for Deanna just to jump right in there and, do that. So I like this matchup, and I think that they have their strengths, which the other person is kind of weak in. So not a styles clash completely, but I think what they're best at, the other is not, if that makes sense. So I like it. I'm fine with this fight. And on that excellent Bellator 263 card, which I think I will be there, Steve. As of today, I kind of was figuring some stuff out. I think I'll be there. Are you going to go to that one, my man? Are we going to meet up? We can do our podcast in person.
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely going to try to get there. Yep.
That Pitbull McKee. That is just too sweet.
That's a juicy fight.
That's a juicy one. Look at that.
That's one of the best fights of the summer, man. We're getting great fights this summer. Bellator giving us Pitbull and McKee, one of the best fights of the summer.
Oh yeah. And look at that. I mentioned, I didn't even mention her. I mentioned Valerie, and here comes the Kana boys back in town. Kana Army forever. Go Kana. Come back, Kana. Come back, Kana. You guys, we got to get that hashtag going for the next fight. Hashtag come back, Kana. I like that. Kana is awesome, Jimmy says. Waving the flags. Kana Army for life. Stamina waving it. Where you at, Ghost? I know you're still here. Calling you out.
Ghost doesn't wave it. He's quiet.
Right.
Cricket from Ghost and Yusuf.
But Yes. So looking forward to this one. Looking forward to that whole event. I'll probably be back in LA for the first time since January 2020 for Bellator 238 when Cyborg won the title. So that'll be fun. It'll be fun to get back to Bellator because, like we said, what was that last week? Bellator puts on a fucking show. Put on a fucking show. And Makoto, back to Ramon, says, how awesome would it be to get her on the podcast? Would be cool. And we have only had 2 guests in the history of our show. Only 2 guests ever. And they were both fine. Janae Harding and shout out to Isha Chanel, our former coworker at MMA Today. Going way back. That was episode 3. I remember we had her on the 3rd episode. And Janae was like 6 or 7. So we had him in the first 10. But
and we haven't had one since.
No, we have not. Just hasn't come up.
So Drake wasn't going to come onto the show, and I was like, oh, do I really want to go?
Here we go.
Do I really want to go solo? I was like, no, I really don't. Like, I don't like doing the solo thing, right? I like bouncing things off of people. So I got in a DM and with a fighter, and this fighter was like, dude, I would totally do it, but I'm in training camp right now with a partner, right? So then I was like, we moved to Tuesday. Mm-hmm. And I was like, all right, well, it's all good. And then she DM'd me again. She was like, are you? I was like, oh, we're doing it Tuesday instead. If he's not available on Tuesday, you want to come on, right? And she was like, man, like literally 5 minutes before we got on, she was like, man, did you guys do it already? Because if you didn't, I might be down, And I was like, I didn't respond to her, but Jillian DeCourcy.
Oh, perfect choice.
I know. I know. She's. I consider her a friend now.
Yeah.
Her and I have very friendly banter.
You know what, man? I think we should maybe actually get her on, and I'll tell you right now. I'm sure. I think we probably talked about it, but the only
Jillian on.
Yeah, the thing that
she's incredibly intelligent. Like she knows the whole fight game, but
yes.
She is like focused on the women. So her being on this specific podcast would be perfect, I think.
Exactly. And that's why what I was getting at was I've been very reluctant ever since then, because, if we're just to go by our show format and how we did it with Janae, it was like she was the third person while we did our show as we're doing it normally. And it was like, I feel bad if you put someone on the spot who isn't kind of up to date with as much of the stuff as we are. Like Janae actually did very, very well.
Janae did perfect, dude. Janae was great.
So that actually worked out, but I just fear that moment of I fear that moment of having someone who's like, yeah, shit, I don't know a lot of what you guys are bringing up here. And of course we can fix that and, work with it better, but that's just always a hassle. I've tried not to think about it. But DeCourcy, yes, she is very in the know, so that's a perfect choice.
Yeah. That's why I asked her. But I mean, I do think that Jillian would be down to do it. I mean, she was down to do it anyway, but I do think
the way you caught that.
But I do think that that Jillian would be fun to come on the show.
Yeah, it's definitely.
I'm a little dark.
Yeah, the light's out today. I don't have very good lighting either. I just got the screen coming up on me, but I have better quality because this isn't my Wi-Fi. So anyway, moving on with the last bit of news today, finishing up the flyweights. This one was announced today, and right when I say that, I get a drop in Wi-Fi. That's hilarious. But here we are, Steve.
Yeah. Sorry, I was looking at the comment, Moni's comments. Marina Moros versus Luana Carolina, set for October 16th. I like this fight. It's a fun one. Yeah,
no, stylistically, I think this one should be very fun. Very excited to see Moreau's back, as I have been since she's moved to flyweight. Ever since that Mazo fight, she's looked reinvented. The Bueno Silva fight was awesome as well. This one should be good. Not the fight I would have made, and I mean we were gonna get that awesome Furo versus Moreau's fight, which unfortunately didn't happen a couple weeks ago, and Ricci came in instead. But oh, look at that! Let there be light. Let there be light. He's glowing, everybody. Look at him. Look at him. But yeah, no, I'll take this one. I think since Moreau's has been out for a while, I could be more mad at the matchmaking in terms of, you know, where people should be. And Moreau's has been around a while and name value, yada, yada, yada. But yeah, no. And I mean, shit, dude, this is October. This is forever.
So far away.
I mean, I guess that's actually only 3 months, huh? But still far. The end of the year dates always sound so much farther away than they actually are.
Well, dude, we're in the middle of summer. For like, there's literally a heat wave going through the whole West Coast right now, right?
Yes.
So we're in the middle of summer right now, and these motherfuckers are giving us fights in the fall.
Yeah.
So it just seems like it's like fucking so far away, you know?
Right. It doesn't hit the same.
It doesn't hit the same.
But
look at that. Why are you giving us news? My flyweight MMA news is Chelsea Hackett is doing Survivor Australia rather than fighting at the moment. Good for Chelsea.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah. Do you watch regularly, Moni? Survivor? I haven't watched Survivor in, God, years.
Over a decade.
Yeah.
Since I was like a kid.
Yeah, exactly. A kid. I haven't watched that shit in fucking forever. Yeah. It's still going on?
I know, right? That's the surprise. Whoa.
Dude, how crazy is Survivor Australia with all of their nonsense spiders and snakes and all that shit that they got going on over there? Hell.
Yeah, that's true Survivor.
No, thank you. You can fucking keep your crazy ass spiders and snakes and whatever, kangaroos and fucking, what are those little pouch guys?
The kangaroos, yeah.
No. The cute little pouch guys. Koala.
Wallaby?
Koala.
Okay.
Don't they have koalas in Australia?
Yes, they do. They have it all. Anything that can kill you, it's there.
Anything that has sharp nails and sharp teeth and spits venom and fucking whatever else.
Moni says she does not watch, and she's laughing at your quokka. Yeah, wallabies. All right, that's what I was thinking too. They got it all.
Yeah, they have everything. They have those yoked ass kangaroos.
The Nate Diaz kangaroos.
Walk around fucking fighting and shit. The Nate Diaz kangaroos.
Yeah. But Stamina likes this one with a much better, and Iron Lady versus Dread sounds good to me. Sure does. War Morrows. Ghost Phantom asking, if you have the chance, can you ask Gilbert Burns about how IHP has helped his strength and conditioning? Who is I? Yeah, what does IHP stand for?
IHP?
I will ask, but inform me. I am uninformed about those abbreviations. Stamina says, if you get killed by a koala, that is prime Darwinism.
Dude, those motherfuckers are mean.
Oh, Moni's clapping back.
Mountain lions and bears, those guys are nothing compared to your spiders.
Dude, fuck bears. I'll put it that way.
Dude, bears are scary as fuck, bro.
Oh yeah, I've seen The Revenant. Don't need to see it to know that they're horrifying. But all right, that concludes the news, you guys. So a nice light little episode we got here for you as we roll in to the UFC 264 preview. Look up.
I will look
Koala
up koala screaming. I will definitely do that.
You know what? Let's do this on the show, huh? Let's do it on the show. Let's do a screen share.
Do it. Ghost Phantom says IHP is Institute of Human Performance, which is the same strength and conditioning program that Whaley is in.
Okay. Let's see. I'm getting this quality drop here, so I don't know if I should do it. I'll save it once it goes back up. But all right, interesting. I will remember that, Ghost, and maybe shoot me a DM just to make sure, because got a lot going on. But anyway, UFC 264 going down this weekend, which is where Mr. Gilbert Burns is competing in the co-main event. But before that, we're back to the flyweights, kicking things off.
Jennifer Maia versus Jessica Ai. Please, Jennifer Maia, begging you to end this nonsense. That is Jessica Ai.
Well, I think she should. Let's get it out of the way. I think she should. I like Jennifer Maia in this fight. I like most people against Jessica Ai, to be honest, as many of you will know. Here we go, evil. I don't know.
Here we go, evil. Here we go. Woof, woof.
Yeah. Woof, woof. Jennifer Maia, I mean, she's coming off of the loss to Valentina. No shame in that. Before that, it was the loss to Chukagian, and no shame in that. Other than that, solid run. Jessica Ai, her last fight was JoJo and then Calvillo, and who's her win was Araujo, which was a little bit of a surprising one. But of course, Vivi has her issues with the cardio, which cost her in that one, as it does. Before that, Shevchenko head kick. But yeah, it's just one of those things with Jessica Ai where
she's so unlikable.
Her wins are just never that impressive. Like the most impressive win of her career is, I think, easily people say is Zoila Frausto, right? Which is pretty much what put her on the map in Bellator. That fight literally, that got her so much hype, if you remember, and pretty much brought her into the UFC at the time. Up at 135, which there was the whole, not excuses if you want, the whole thing about she's going to be better at 125, and I guess she has been, yes, technically in terms of the resume and all that.
To be fair,
which we don't need to get into that, but that did happen.
It did.
It did happen.
She paid immensely for it, but it happened.
Yes. But as we're seeing here, everyone's in the same boat a bit. Ghost has an RNC finish for Maia. Stamina says, War Maia, dag nabbit, in the name of all that's good and decent, angry face.
Yes.
Yusuf says, nothing gives me confidence on I winning.
No way.
That's very fair. Moni says, Maia with relative ease.
Relative ease.
Very true. And then Rue says, can someone explain to me the Jessica Ai striking system?
No.
We cannot.
We can't. Because there isn't one.
Ghost has the explanation. He says, throw combinations without acknowledging what's happening in front of you, hitting mitts during the fight. That's pretty bang on. Pretty bang on. Yeah. I mean, Calvillo lit her up a little bit. So.
Yeah. I hope she continues that.
Yeah, I mean, Maia at distance, in the pocket, clinch. It's just one of those things where it'll be a step ahead, I think. And then on the ground, that's problem area. So, and Stamina's got his response as well.
That's why I'm laughing. It's poop.
It's just shit. Poop.
It's straight shit. This is what you get when these motherfuckers don't like somebody. I love it. You should see what they do to Angela Hill and Valerie Loretta.
Cheyenne buys.
Cheyenne buys too. Yes. There's another one.
It's just essentially the best way to look at it, Steve, right, is just that we know who the better fighter is in this fight.
Yeah.
In pretty much every area.
Hope we know.
I mean, that's
God.
the thing. Jessica Ai does at times have that effect to where she makes fights a lot more competitive or closer than they should be. It's definitely possible. It is for sure possible here, but I don't know. I feel like Maya's really gotten a lot more comfortable in the UFC as time has gone on. And in this fight, it's about as perfect of a potential showcase as you could have without, getting an early showcase and, exposing yourself to a new audience kind of. So, I just think that Maya's overall arsenal with her Muay Thai and her jiu-jitsu, wherever she takes it, she should be fine. And I'm sure that she will get this to the ground because Jessica Ai gets taken down relatively easily, no matter who it is against. And from there, I kind of like the submission pick, which Ghost was showing. And yes, cut by says James. I like the submission as well, as Ghost mentions. Rear naked, to be specific like that. I could see it. I kind of lean a little bit more towards an arm bar. But
I think an arm bar is going to be there for her.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Either way, I'm gonna say second round. I could see first, but I don't know, Steve. How do you feel?
Yeah, the thing about Jessica Ai is she's so fucking just in the fights, with people other than Shevchenko, obviously. But she annoys the fucking shit out of me. Just Jennifer Maia should be able to win this fight with ease, right? She should be able to. But this motherfucker, Jessica Ai, she's always in the fights and she doesn't go away. Another cockroach.
She's probably the original cockroach.
Yeah,
right. She was on a very long losing streak and didn't get cut.
She's the original cockroach. Betch just became like cockroach 2.0. So Jennifer Maia has to win this fight. Like you said, an armbar, some kind of submission. It's got to be a submission win. But she's like improving on the ground. She's doing these submission underground grappling matches and stuff. She's not winning them, but there's improvement with Jessica Ai, right? But she's not on the level of Jennifer Maia. She just isn't on the level of Jennifer Maia on the ground. Once it goes to the ground, it's got to be a wrap. It's got to be quick. So I'm going to go round 2, armbar. The arm will be there for her. The arm will definitely be there for her. The neck might be too, but I think the arm will be easier for Jennifer Maia.
Yeah. But I like what Ghost is pointing out here, which is a good point. I do recall that.
Yeah. Yeah, and Calvillo's not that fighter.
No. I mean, Calvillo does have good killer instinct, but obviously the jiu-jitsu is not.
She does, but her jiu-jitsu is not. We don't talk about Calvillo and jiu-jitsu in the same.
Yeah, wrestling, sure, but.
Yeah, but it's not the taking the back shit.
Yeah, exactly. And where is this coming from, guys? Where is this coming from? How did this start?
Clearly.
That would be a good clip right there. But yep. All right. No surprise there. We are both in agreement. We're all in agreement on Jennifer Maia, actually, going back to the comments. So
it's a very agreeable fight.
Indeed, it is. Now I'm very curious, though, about the other fight, this next fight here, because I feel like the majority will be on one side specifically, but I think there'll be some stragglers on the other side. But here we go, Steve. I'm excited for this one. I love this fight.
Yes, Irina Aldana versus Yana Kunitskaya. This is a number one contender fight. Has to be a number one contender fight in the bantamweight division. I see the winner going and getting herself a title fight.
I mean, Yana should be getting the title fight over Pena. I think we've all agreed that she made more sense, right? But Pena is a lot noisier.
Well, none of us agree. None of us think that Pena deserves a title fight anyway, right?
Right.
None of us. Show yourself if you do.
Yeah. Show yourself.
So we can go on and roast you.
Exactly. So, yeah, it's a great point, though. If you think about just kind of the position and Renee being able to launch herself back in there, first fight since that devastating Holly Holm loss, which hurts the soul, but just very happy to have her back, healthy and all that. And goodness gracious, look at the odds here, Steve. We are damn near dead even.
It's even, man. It literally says near even on both.
Yep. So a lot has happened. And Aldana has been very focused too for this, because trust me, you guys, I have been trying so hard to work out getting a hold of her, because I've talked to her many times, and I was really wanting to for this one. And maybe I can still get a one-on-one tomorrow or something sometime this week. But if not, then afterward. But she's been very focused and not wanting to do any media. Whenever fighters do that, it's kind of, you like to see it because of the fact that how serious they're taking it and want to focus. Sure. But this is a bounce back fight for her, man. It's a big one. It is a big one. And Yana, who is a matchup that is a tricky one if you look at the size. I feel like the heights are off there. I feel like Yana is taller than 5'6", but either way, same reach. Fights fantastic at distance. I've always said she reminds me of a little bit of a more aggressive Holly, and they've trained together before. I don't know if they still train together, but they used to train at Jackson Wink together. Then on the ground, we've seen how much more active Yana has gotten over the years. I mean, she's always been very active off her back, but in that Ketlin fight, that's exactly what won her the fight, was the activity off the back. So if she gets taken down, she's okay. She does have submissions. We saw it against Tanya Evinger. Yeah. But I don't think, Aldana never really wants to take it down there. We know, we say it every time we're talking about the Lobo Gym girls, the best boxers out there.
Yeah.
So
you would think that, seeing Brandon Moreno become the first Mexican champion, maybe there was a little bit of high expectation for the girls at Lobo Gym. Maybe there's a weight taken off their shoulders now that Brandon Moreno has done that. Maybe they can go out there and just do their thing and show their boxing skill and whip some ass again.
Yeah, that's very true. Because we talked about that Aldana was on track to be that first one. She was ahead of everyone else essentially. Like it wasn't, of course, beating Nunes is a high bar, but she was the front runner.
Yeah.
So,
and Moreno wasn't even in the picture at that point.
Yeah.
In the title picture, he wasn't in the title picture at that point. Remember, Brandon Moreno had been released by the UFC. He was released by the UFC. That dude has a bounce back of all bounce backs.
Yeah, that he has had incredible stuff.
He's so likable, man. So fucking likable.
I know, great guy, and that's good fuel too. If you're any of these Mexican fighters, but
yeah, that weight of a whole nation, of a whole country being the first champion, taken off. Brandon Moreno is the champion now, the first ever UFC champion, Mexican champion, right? Aldana, Grasso, they can just fight their fights at this point without that extra baggage of having to carry a nation on their backs.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And, you know, maybe a little bit less pressure too, having gotten that main event fight out of the way, and, you know, maybe a little bit of a rub from somebody like Holly. You know, we like to talk about getting that experience. And I mean, just learning, a very big learning experience for Aldana. But, you know, Ghost points out here, what about Aldana's defense against the cage? Do you guys think Yana might take it there? And I do, because as we've seen before,
she should. She absolutely should.
Yeah, we've seen Irene backed up against the cage, you know, a lot, actually. You know, she's very movement oriented, and she'll circle away and get away when being pressed. You look at the Pudilova fight, you look at the Leslie Smith fight, kind of where the Leslie Smith fight in particular, when she debuted, where she struggled a bit and got backed up, put in the clinch. If Yana can replicate that, golden. And we saw her do pretty much that exact thing to Stoliarenko 2 fights ago.
Yeah, so, but
bigger.
Aldana and Stoliarenko, they're not. There's kind of a difference between those two fighters.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But if Yana can do that to Aldana, she could do it to anybody, I think. Other than maybe Nunes, I guess. I mean, until it happens with Nunes.
Right. Right. So, man, I think that Irene really just needs to keep Yana off of her, not let her dictate the distance more than anything. Don't play around on the ground. No need to do it. And then on the feet, she should be fine with her mobility and her boxing.
Yeah, she has great boxing footwork. Her movement's wonderful. She needs to let those hands fly.
The way she bobs and weaves when she's feeling it.
Yeah. She needs to get back to that Aldana. We need to see that Aldana this weekend.
Yeah. But man, like I said again, though, if you think about kind of how she struggled against Holly and Yana having worked with Holly, that kind of scares you a little bit if you're an Aldana fan. And, you know, Yana maybe trying to replicate that a little bit.
Yeah. How fucking boring, though.
We'll see. But I don't know. I just feel like there are more areas in this matchup for Yana to succeed. And I think that Aldana's area will be a lot stronger than the multiple areas. Kind of like the phrase of, you know, when I'd rather know one move and have practiced it a shitload of times or than know a bunch of moves and have done them once. Kind of similar to that narrative. But I'm still going to go with Yana for the options. I feel like she has just got too many different areas to succeed in this one. And, you know, in this position, though, I do like Aldana mentally and kind of positionally, you know, trying to rebound. And this spot, I think one that she'll, you know, feed off the fuel for it and everything. Taking the time away because she's been very active, you know, in recent years. So taking this little break, probably a good thing. And, you know, the broken foot and everything was an issue as well. But still, I think Yana, I think it's going to be very close. I'm very excited for this fight, as I'm always excited for either of their fights. But I think it'll be close. Split decision, though. Yana, I think decision.
Okay. I'm going the other way. I don't think it'll go to a decision, and I think that Aldana's back. I just feel like Aldana's gonna. She's got that hunger inside of her. She has that Mexican fighter. You know, she doesn't fucking quit. I think I just trust Aldana more than I trust Kunitskaya. So I'm gonna go Aldana, second round TKO.
Ooh, that would be very impressive, especially considering Yana has only been stopped by Cyborg and Aspen Ladd was on the ground. So it's not easy to finish her. So,
It is.
But hey, yeah, if anybody can do it with their striking, we've seen when Irene lands.
She needs to let those hands go though. Can't hold back.
Yeah, for sure. So, it's that's exactly how I feel, Stamina. I feel the same way.
I'm like the opposite. I think I'm like, well, no, I think my heart is with Aldana as well.
Yeah,
but like Kunitskaya, I just don't like trust her as much as I do Aldana.
Yeah, we get it. The consistency, maybe. Don't trust the consistency.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Yana wins, though. It wouldn't shock me at all. I want Aldana to win more. I think that she's the better fighter out of the two.
And that's why they fight. So,
yeah.
On the main card is that fight. Should be above Greg Hardy, but we won't get into that, will we, Steve? I could go on all day, but hey, at least it is on the main card. Excited for the return of Irene Aldana. Going to be good. UFC 264. Plenty of exciting fights on this card. Excited to be there. Excited to be here. It's very fucking hot outside.
It's like 114.
Jeez, dude. It's 107 right now, but it feels worse than Arizona did. I'll tell you that much. It's not great, but
yeah.
All
Vegas
right.
Vegas has that wicked fucking heat, bro.
No kidding. As we get wrapping up here, let's watch a suggestion from Moni. We got Koalas screaming now, ready to go. And actually, I got to do this again because I don't think I hit the audio button. But we're going to watch this video. 14 seconds.
Yes, let's watch a little clip together, guys.
All right, let's see how this goes.
Look how cute that guy is.
I don't know what to expect here.
Fucking adorable.
That cannot be real. That cannot be real.
I think it's real.
Oh my god.
Oh, the calls and screamers. How
that
adorable.
Is hilarious. So there's that, you guys. What a way to cap things off. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh,
fucking adorable are those motherfuckers. But they're mean. And they'll gouge an eye out.
They'll give you chlamydia. Whoa, that was a miss. I know. I did not expect that. Oh man.
That's hilarious.
I think I've seen this, Jimmy. Check out the Lyrebird imitates chainsaw.
I think I've seen that too. Yeah,
I've seen that. But we could go on all day about these silly noises, but we won't. Yusuf says it's time for GDR versus Holm 2. I agree. We said that right after they both won. Right after they both won their fights.
Yeah, it makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Do it.
So
do it, UFC. Do it. Give it to us.
Once they're ready, I think, that should definitely happen. Bruce says, speaking of the ridiculousness from the chat earlier, how come you don't block us when we say bad things about Angela Hill or Valerie Loretta? Because it's not discriminatory.
Yeah, you're not like saying Valerie Loretta is a Cuban cunt or something like that. You know what I mean? Like you're not throwing the nationality in there or their race in there or anything like that. Those motherfuckers were literally saying that one motherfucker's name, and it's the same person. Same person. His literal name was something Chinese.
It was like cheese or something. I don't know. Who cares? But yeah.
But they were blocked for a reason. I blocked them right away. I don't deal with that shit, man. This is a happy place. This isn't some fucking bullshit. Fucking
yeah. And then people like poor Suki. You don't want people to actually get upset about that and all. So
yeah,
understandable though. Understandable.
Well, I mean, she's literally Chinese. I would be upset as well. I mean.
Yeah. First for everything, though, guys. So hopefully that doesn't happen anymore. I wonder
if it does. Then we keep blocking.
I was gonna say, I wonder if there's ways to I don't know how to make you guys mods, because that'd be fun to help us out with that. I think I know how to do that. I have to configure this out a different time. If this continues on in the future, which, hypothetically, you kind of hope that we get big enough to where we do get assholes, but, or I mean, not that we get them, but there's so many people that they just, you know how it goes, as you grow and it happens, unfortunately. But yes, ultimately stamina. Hashtag stop Asian hate. One of the most racism is stupid, as you know. All right. On that note, let's close it out here. Don't forget, you guys, follow us, like, share, and subscribe at Drake Riggs _ at Steve K _ MMA at the Scrap News. You know what to do. So, yeah, that is it. Thanks for hanging out with us once again, and getting through the nonsense as we just alluded to. But anyway, Steve, anything at all you got coming?
Yeah, there's an article coming out, StocktonSlop209.com. I'll be putting it out probably tomorrow. I thought I was going to finish it tonight, but probably not. I need to eat and stuff after this, and then by that time, I'm not going to want to do shit. And then there's an MMA coming out next week, I hope. Just trying to get the interview situated, but we're trying to get it to where it works for both of us.
Very nice. Looking forward to it. As for me, obviously, you guys, yes, see you next time, Alexander. Thanks so much for tuning in, man. I feel like you don't get to interact all too much, but great to see you. And shout out to him, you guys. Alexander, the best goddamn Portuguese translator in MMA. No doubt about it. He translates all of the interviews I do, if you have noticed that reoccurring voice. And speaking of that, we spoke to Verna Jandiroba. What's that? Verna Jandiroba. Correct pronunciation, not Jandiroba. We spoke to her about a week or so ago. That is out now. Fantastic discussion with her, as always. Talked about her evolution, her striking evolution in particular, as we saw in this Kanako fight. Sad face, but she looked phenomenal. Very happy for her. Kind of the changes in her life after the Mackenzie Dern loss, her thoughts on Rose and Carla too, if it happens. Kind of the statement she made for her Brazilian people after the fight. Whole lot of stuff in there. Talked about tattoos. I pulled some tattoo talk out of her, Steve. So that's at the very end of the video. I got timestamps on it. That is on SCMP. So check that one out for sure, you guys. And of course, Broughton Horizon episode 9 is out now as well. Very fun episode. They're all fun, and we're getting number 10 next, which planning to be a big one. So look forward to that, and check out episode 9 if you haven't seen it yet. Emi Fujino, as we mentioned her earlier, Sachiko Hotaka, the rise of photographer, Shoma Shimisai, and who was the other one? I'm blanking on who the other person was. How embarrassing. Who was the other person? Ulka Sasaki, yes. So many people But great episode. Check that one out. And aside from that, I think that I'm probably forgetting stuff. But either way, here on the scene in Las Vegas for UFC 264. Reporting for SCMP. You can check out all the stuff there. If you have any questions, as Ghost asked me something for Gilbert Burns earlier, do the same. I will do my best to get them answered for you guys this week. Tomorrow's media day. Day after that is the press conference. Day after that is weigh-ins.
That press conference should, God, I hope they fucking don't give us some stupid ass people asking stupid ass questions.
Yeah, we'll see. If we'll be seated close enough and I get a good shot, then hopefully I won't have to man the camera too much. It'll just be two of them, so maybe I can get us to wide. Maybe I can get the questions this time, you guys, because last time I had to, do the cameraman action. I couldn't get to the microphone, so there's a good chance this time. No, it'll just be the two of them and Dana, so I can probably work it out. But either way, that's what I got going on. All that good stuff. So, yes, Ghost, that is a great point. Chad Ochocinco getting priorities, which is always fucking dumb because he asks if he should bet on the person he's asking the question to, which really annoys me because what are they going to say?
No, don't bet on me. Bet on that guy.
It's like, dude, just wasting time. But
you know damn well what the answer is. Bet on me, of course. Bet on me. I bet on myself. So why shouldn't you?
Right. So that's that. Good fun. We'll see. We will see. So see how it plays out. Should be crazy. But anyway, let's send it on home, Steve. Let's say goodbye to the people for the week. Thank you guys for showing up on Tuesday because we missed yesterday because holidays and very busy this week. Had to make it work. We made it work for you, as you can tell. So thank you so much. Really.
Would you guys like Jillian DeCourcy to come on video with us, to come on the show with us? I'll hit her up. So yes, without you guys, there is no Drake and I. That guy with the little bun thing, there's no him. There's no me. There's no us without you guys. So thank you for continuing to show up every week on a weekly basis. Doesn't matter the day, apparently. Doesn't matter the time. You guys will show up. Love that for us. Love that for you guys. It's fucking awesome. The regulars were here, as usual. Rain, Ro, Ghost Phantom, Yusuf, Stamina, Moni showed up. Alvin, Alexander was here. Jimmy, Suki. I'm sorry, Suki. I know you probably won't see this because you're not going to show up again for a while, apparently. But we'll get that all taken care of. We got it taken care of fast. There's not much we can do about that. Until next week, y'all. Stay safe. Stay sane.
Peace.
Bye. Bye.